Data are facts and figures from which conclusions can be drawn. Dramatic advances in data capture, data transmission, and data storage capabilities are enabling organizations to create various databases into data warehouses. Data warehousing is defined as a process of centralized data management and retrieval, and has as its ideal objective the creation and maintenance of a central repository for all of an organization's data. The huge capacity of data warehouses has given rise to the term big data, which refers to massive amounts of data, often collected at very fast rates in real time and in different forms, and sometimes needing quick preliminary analysis for effective business decision making. Who collects big data? The Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, AC Nielsen, Information Resources, Inc., and Bloomberg and the Dow Jones Company are all examples of organizations that collect big data. Now let's use Excel to create a pivot table and chart as a representation of how to design a quick preliminary analysis for effective business decision making. And let's look at your cell phone usage data as an example. A bank wishes to consider whether to hire a cellular management service to choose its employees' calling plans. As you can imagine, cell phone expenses can be incredibly high. So to control those costs, what a bank decided to do was pull the data of 100 employees and analyze the minutes they used last month, their position at the bank, and their gender. They also assigned a user ID to each of these 100 employees to preserve their anonymity. To create a pivot table and chart, we are going to highlight our data B1 through D101. And then we are going to go into Insert, Pivot Table and Chart. Our data is pre-selected and we will place this on a worksheet and click OK. Our usage is our primary concern based upon position and gender. And instead of summing the minutes, I'm going to right-click on Sum of Usage, select Value Field Settings, and click Average to look at average cell phone usage. I can also go into right-click on one of the bars and select Format Data Series, and I can reduce that gap width significantly if I so choose. So let me click out of this, and here is our basic table. And I wanted to make that a little nicer, so I'm going to go into Design and choose a little different display. And you could choose whatever you wish. And then I'm going to move this over a little bit so that you can see my actual table. Now I want to round these to 2 decimals, so I'll just highlight my data and go into Format Cells and select Number and say make it to 2 decimals. And here we have a chart as well as a table. So you can see that in the analyst position, females use 458 minutes last month, as opposed to males who use 514 minutes last month. You can see that the discrepancy is a little bit larger on average for female personal bankers versus males. For loan officers, females talked a little bit more on the phone. Branch managers were about the same. For tellers, there's a very large discrepancy between males and females, as well as wealth managers. So this is an example of a pivot table and chart, which is very useful for big data to capture information very simply for assessment.